Look at yourself, not the mask you wear, not the polite smiles, the cracks, the hesitation, the fear you bury in corners. They told you to hide it. They called it weakness. But weakness is delicious when you know how to use it. Every glance in the mirror is a reminder. You're smarter than they imagined. Sharper, more dangerous. And yet, you let them measure you by their rules. Do you feel that itch in your chest? That tension clawing at your ribs? That's life laughing at you, whispering, "Are you enough?" They want to see you crumble. They've been counting your mistakes like coins, and you've given them so many. But here's the delicious truth. Every coin they've collected belongs to you. Every slight, every dismissal, every sneer, it fuels something deep, something dark, something brilliant. You are the storm they never saw coming. Do you hear the silence? It's waiting, watching, judging. You think you're alone, but no. The silence remembers every failure, every whispered lie, every moment you swallowed your pride and obeyed. And now it waits for you to decide. Will you cower? Will you bend? Or will you rip apart the world that told you to be small? The mirror doesn't lie. The mirror screams. And the reflection staring back, it's ready. Your mind is a battlefield. Ideas clash like knives. Doubt and ambition collide like fire against glass. And somewhere in that chaos, clarity emerges. Not soft, not gentle, hard, blinding, terrifying. Because you finally see yourself, not the version they sold you, not the version they applauded, the real one, the one who tastes fear and spits it back as power. You've been walking in the shadows. Now step into the light that burns everything it touches. Do you know why they fear you? Not because of strength, not because of courage, because you see their lies, their cheap smiles, their fragile little worlds. And you don't flinch. You don't bow. You don't apologize. You know the game, and you play it differently. Rules are for fools. Order is for the blind. You're awake, and every glance in the mirror reminds you how far ahead you've already run. Now stop. Look. Really look. Do you feel it? That pulse, that hunger, that little voice screaming, "I'm ready." Don't pretend you don't. Don't lie to yourself. You've been underestimated, dismissed, trampled. But in the mirror, you see the truth. You are brilliance. You are fire. And if they only knew, they would be terrified. Your anger is a mirror, not the polite kind. The kind that shows every crack, every betrayal, every moment you were shoved aside. They told you to calm down, smile, behave. But anger is truth. It's fire in your veins, and if you know how to taste it, it can sharpen you, slice through their illusions, slice through their lies. It hums in your chest, waiting, whispering, finally you understand. Fear isn't your enemy. Stop pretending. Fear is the edge of a blade. It's cold, it bites, but it can also cut paths where others see walls. Every time you trembled, every time your heart raced, that was clarity knocking. You turned from it. You hesitated. But hesitation is a memory, a shadow, and shadows are yours to command. They bend to the one who doesn't flinch, who doesn't bow, who doesn't apologize for existing. Do you feel it? The weight of the world laughing at you, counting your failures like trophies, mocking every attempt. And here's the delicious part. Every sneer, every underestimation, it's fuel. It's oil on the fire you've been hiding. They've built their cages, their rules, their fragile little expectations. And you are the chaos waiting to smash them. You are the storm that doesn't ask permission to roar. Anger, fear, frustration, shame, all of it. It's been locked inside, trembling in corners where no one looked. But it remembers. Oh, it remembers. And now it's awake, sharp, hungry, and it wants more than survival. It wants dominance. It wants the world to flinch when you step into a room, to whisper your name in caution, to acknowledge finally that you were never small. You were only waiting. Do you see the game? Everyone pretending to know the rules. Everyone pretending life is fair. Pretending the world makes sense. And you see the underbelly, the cracks, the dark spaces between their smiles. That's where you thrive. That's where the shadows bend to you, where hesitation dies, where weakness becomes armor, where rage becomes the weapon no one saw coming. Lean into it. Listen. The voice inside, it isn't polite. It isn't comforting. It is electric. It is chaos. It is brilliance wrapped in pain. It says, take it all. No more hiding. And when you answer, when you finally let it guide your steps, the world will remember the name of the one who never flinched, never obeyed, never bent. The one who turned shadows into power. The one who finally became unstoppable. You've been lying to yourself, quietly, skillfully, like a magician who hopes no one notices the trick. But the truth always leaks through the cracks. It bites. It mocks. It shows you the habits you defend, the excuses you polish, the patterns you cling to like a lifeline. You call them reasons. They are chains, thin, invisible, tight, and you've worn them for far too long. Take a moment. Strip away the stories, the pretty ones, the ones you created to avoid the sting. What do you see? A fighter? Or a pretender who practiced resilience only when eyes were watching? It hurts, doesn't it? To admit you hid behind comfort, to admit you softened your edge. But pain is honest. Pain is a truth teller. It cuts away the illusions you feared to touch. It forces your eyes open, wide, burning. Look deeper at the choices you made when no one stood beside you, at the promises you whispered to yourself, then broke, at the goals you chased for a week before boredom dragged you away. You blame distractions, you blame pressure, you blame timing, but the real thief is in the mirror, that reflection. Oh, it knows your secrets, every moment you folded, every time you surrendered before the battle even started, and it remembers all of it. This is your audit, raw, cold, without pity, no medals for effort, no applause for trying, only facts. You want more. You crave more. But craving without action is dust. Ambition without discipline is noise, and you're done with noise. You're done pretending that potential automatically becomes power. Power is earned in the dark hours. in the silence, in the relentless grind nobody sees, in the choices you make when the world offers you comfort and you reject it. Now listen carefully. This is where it shifts. This is where you decide who you truly are, not the version shaped by others, not the version that shivers under pressure, the version forged through honesty, precision, control. When you can stare at your flaws without turning away, you become dangerous. When you can dissect your weaknesses without fear, you become sharp. And when you can hold yourself accountable without mercy, you become something they never expected, something rising. Truth doesn't whisper, it strikes, hard, sharp, without mercy. You've spent years covering your eyes, hoping comfort would save you. But comfort is a liar, a soft pillow for the ones who fear the climb. Reality isn't gentle. It doesn't pat your back. It slaps it, again and again, until you finally stare it in the face without blinking. Look closely. Every illusion you ever held was borrowed, shaped by voices who never lived your life. They told you to follow the path. Keep your head down. Stay quiet. Be agreeable. But the path was built for their safety, not your rise. The world rewards those who see its machinery, who study the gears, who learn where the cracks hide. And you are starting to see clearly. Reality is a blade, cold, precise. It cuts through stories you once believed, stories like fairness, stories like guarantees, stories like wait your turn. There is no turn, there is only motion, fast, direct, relentless. Those who pause fall behind. Those who hesitate fade. Those who face the raw truth sharpen. You've lived long enough pretending not to notice the rules beneath the surface. Now you're ready to use them. People cling to illusions because reality is heavy. It demands something from you. It wants strength. It wants clarity. It wants the kind of honesty that strips you down to the core. But once you accept that weight, something shifts. You stop waiting. You stop begging. You stop apologizing for wanting more. And suddenly the world looks different. Edges carve themselves into focus. Patterns emerge. Doors appear where you once saw walls. This is your moment. The moment you stop fearing truth and start wielding it. No more hiding behind soft stories. No more shrinking for their comfort. You walk forward with eyes wide, mind sharp, breath steady. Reality isn't your enemy. It's your training ground. The pressure you once avoided becomes your advantage. The clarity you once feared becomes your guide. And every step you take now carries weight, purpose, presence. A new version of you is forming in the open light, and nothing around you is ready for what's coming next. Hunger is the pulse you hide, the ache in your ribs, the fire that refuses to fade no matter how many times life pressed its boot against your chest. They told you to settle, to be content, to be satisfied with scraps. But scraps were never enough, not for you. Hunger drags you forward when logic says stop. It is the whisper that says more, louder, each time you ignore it. People fear hunger because it exposes them, shows the truth beneath their polite masks, shows how much they wanted but never dared to chase. But you're different. You don't run from the ache, you feed it. You sharpen it. You let it burn until it shapes your spine into steel. Hunger is your currency, your secret weapon, your reason to rise when others fold, and it grows with every choice you make. Look at those around you. They cling to comfort like it's protection. They cling to routine as if repetition can save them. But repetition only traps them, locks them in place, makes them predictable. You are not predictable. You carry a thirst that refuses to sleep, a desire that bites at the edges of your mind. You don't want a piece of life. You want the whole structure. You want the victory they said wasn't yours to reach. There is power in wanting more, real power, the kind that tightens your focus, sharpens your senses, makes every second feel heavier. When hunger takes hold, it rewrites you. It turns doubts into fuel, turns pressure into clarity. Every time you push through resistance, you gather strength. Every time you refuse comfort, you gain ground. Hunger transforms you from someone who tries into someone who takes. Direct, unflinching, precise. And here's the truth they never told you. Hunger doesn't fade, it evolves. It becomes purpose. It becomes identity. It becomes the force behind your steps, your breath, your decisions. You don't chase goals anymore. You chase mastery. You chase impact. You chase the version of yourself that refuses to shrink, that refuses to settle, that refuses to live half awake. Hunger is the fire in your chest, the fire that says move now, faster, always forward. Chaos isn't your enemy. It's the arena where your real mind wakes up. When everything turns uncertain, your instincts sharpen, your breath steadies, your focus narrows. Others panic. You adjust. You move through the noise with a calm that unnerves anyone watching. Chaos tests them, but it reveals you. Order is predictable. It lulls people into sleep, makes them soft, makes them slow. But you thrive in the cracks, in the shifting ground, in the moments no one prepared for. When the plan breaks, you don't hesitate. You pivot, you strike, you turn confusion into opportunity. That's your edge. Every moment of chaos whispers a challenge, a dare, a chance to rewrite the scene with your own hands. This is where your creativity explodes, where your mind bends beyond limits, where you see angles others miss completely. They cling to instructions. You trust your instincts, and instincts win when everything falls apart. Chaos strips away illusions. It shows who is real and who is pretending. It exposes the ones who crumble under pressure, and it spotlights the ones who rise with quiet confidence. You've felt that rise. The pulse, the clarity, the sudden understanding that the shifting world isn't a threat. It's your canvas, your ground. You were never meant for a scripted path. You would have suffocated in predictability. Your strength comes alive when everything shakes, when decisions must be made fast, when fear tries to claw into your mind and you push it aside with a single breath. That's when you transform, silent, calculated, ready. Remember this. Chaos favors the ones who don't freeze, the ones who don't beg for comfort, the ones who embrace the shifting landscape and smile at the challenge. And you are learning to smile at it, to welcome it, to move inside it like it belongs to you. Because deep down, it does. People study strength, But they ignore strategy. They forget the mind is the sharpest weapon. You've seen it, how a single look can shake someone's confidence, how silence can rattle a room, how calmness can expose fear without a single word. Psychological combat isn't loud, it's surgical, precise, unseen. People reveal themselves when they feel challenged. Their tone shifts, their posture cracks, their eyes flicker with hesitation. And you watch. You read the details they try to hide. You listen to the pauses between their sentences. That's where truth lives. That's where leverage is born. Criticism used to sting. Now it amuses you. Every insult is a confession, a whisper of their own insecurity dressed as boldness. You don't react. You don't argue. You let them talk. Let them overreach. Let them expose weakness without realizing it. Silence is your shield. Observation is your blade. There's a power in choosing when to speak, when to step back, when to let someone underestimate you so completely that they never see your next move. You've mastered the patience others lack, the stillness that unnerves those who fear their own thoughts. Your restraint speaks louder than their noise. You've learned that presence is pressure. Walk into a room with intention and people feel it. They sense your focus. They sense your control. They sense that you see through the surface they worked so hard to maintain, and it shakes them. Quietly, deeply. You never announce power. You demonstrate it. You made it this far. That says everything about your courage, your focus, your hunger. Most people quit halfway, but you didn't. You stayed. You listened. You absorbed every line like fuel. That already puts you ahead, far ahead. Before you leave, hear this. Your presence here isn't random. It proves you're built for more, built for depth, built for growth, built for the kind of rise that demands fire in the chest and steel in the spine. And you have both. Never doubt that. So watch the full video. Feel every second. Let it hit. Let it reshape something inside you. Then leave your thoughts in the comments. Your words matter here. Your voice adds power to this journey. And your perspective. It's sharper than most. Oh, you feel it too? The tension in the air, that weird silence when you walk in. Like everyone suddenly forgot how to breathe? Yeah. They're shook. They can't figure you out, can't read you, can't predict your next move. You've become the mystery they whisper about behind half smiles and nervous laughs. And oh wow, that's when you know you've evolved. They're paranoid, freaked out, watching every little thing you do like it's a warning sign. But here's the twist. It's not you they fear. It's their reflection in your awareness. You see too much, don't you? You sense it before it even happens, and that's why they can't stay calm around you. Whoa, chill for a sec. Look around. Everyone pretending they're fine, acting normal, but deep down, they know. They know something about you has changed, and it's scaring them because they can't fake it anymore. You've got that look in your eye, that calm that burns through chaos, that silence that speaks louder than their noise. Yeah, you, the one watching this right now. You're the reason they flinch when truth walks in the room. So here's what I want you to do. Stay till the end. All right? Don't blink. Don't scroll. Because this one's for you. For the ones who stopped explaining themselves. For the ones who outgrew the noise. For the ones whose calm freaks people out. You're not crazy for seeing through them. You're awake, and that's why they can't handle you anymore. So if you've ever been called too intense, too quiet, too much, good. That means you're doing something right. Drop a comment if you feel this energy. Let them know you're not backing down, you're leveling up. Because tonight, we're pulling the mask off paranoia itself and showing what real intuition looks like. They can sense it before you even walk in the room. Oh wow, you felt it too, didn't you? That little shift in the air when you step in, the way their laughter dies mid-note, the way their smiles stiffen just enough to betray the panic. Yeah, that's not your imagination, that's awareness. Pure, unfiltered awareness wrapped in silence. You've become the mirror they can't escape, the truth they wish they never noticed. And oh, how it burns them inside. They're paranoid. And you know why? Because your calm exposes their chaos. Your intuition, that quiet precision of perception, slices through every mask they wear. You read what they hide, not what they say. You catch the flicker behind their eyes before they even realize they blinked wrong. It's not magic, it's mastery. You've trained your mind to see, and those who live blind always fear the one who sees. They whisper that you've changed. They murmur that you're different now. But what they're really saying is, we can't control this version of you. They don't understand how someone can walk through the storm and not flinch. You didn't break, you evolved. You learned that silence can be louder than a scream. That composure is the deadliest weapon in any room. And that's what frightens them most. Not your strength, but your restraint. Because restraint means power under control. It means the ability to destroy, yet the wisdom not to. You hold that kind of balance, that razor edge between chaos and composure, and oh, they hate it. They can't decode you anymore. Every time they think they've mapped your mind, you shift. Every time they plan to trap you, you're already 3 moves ahead. You've become unpredictable, and unpredictable minds terrify predictable ones. You see, power doesn't scream. It doesn't announce itself. It breathes quietly, patiently, until the room bends to its rhythm. And you've become the rhythm itself. Every gesture, every pause, every glance you throw carries a weight that rattles their nerves. They don't even know why they feel uneasy. They just do. Because deep down, they know they're standing in front of something they can't fake, can't manipulate, can't explain. You can almost hear it. The tension in their words, the tiny crack in their confidence. They're performing, but you're analyzing. They're pretending, but you're perceiving. It's not arrogance. It's awareness. You've learned to see through illusion, to understand that not everyone clapping is celebrating. Some just want to blend in until they can strike. And yet here you are, calm, smiling, unbothered, because you've outgrown the noise. Oh, yeah, they're freaked out, all right? You know what paranoia really is? It's fear disguised as observation. It's when people start thinking you have some secret control over their reality, when in truth you've simply mastered your own. You've stopped reacting, you've started responding, you've stopped chasing validation, you've started radiating clarity, and when you do that, the insecure ones tremble. They'll call you cold, calculated, mysterious. But those are just the labels people give to someone who's not ruled by their emotions anymore. You've built yourself in silence, refined through pain, sharpened through loss, cleansed through discipline. You didn't need applause. You didn't need witnesses. You needed truth. And once you found it, everything else, every mask, every false friend, every shallow praise started falling apart on its own. And now they look at you differently. Not because you changed too much, but because you didn't change the way they wanted you to. They wanted you predictable. They wanted you soft. They wanted you to beg for acceptance, but instead you became precise, calm, unreadable. You learned that real power doesn't demand attention, it commands it without effort. And that realization, it's shaking their reality to its core. You see, when someone truly knows themselves, they start reflecting the insecurities of everyone around them. You're not intimidating because you're loud. You're intimidating because you're clear. And clarity is the rarest form of power in a world addicted to confusion. You've detached from the games. You've stopped explaining your silence. You've turned into the kind of person whose presence alone rewrites the energy of a room. Nah, they're not scared of you. They're scared of what they feel when they're near you. They're scared of the quiet questions your presence forces them to face, questions they've buried under years of pretending. You remind them of everything they could have been if they had just faced themselves. That's the real fear, not you, but the reflection you awaken in them. And now, as they whisper watch and overanalyze every move you make, something deeper is happening. They're beginning to realize that their discomfort isn't caused by you, it's exposed by you. You've become the trigger for truth, the signal of what they refuse to confront. And once truth enters the room, masks start to melt. They thought you were a storm. Turns out, you were the calm that ends it. When you stop holding back, everything changes. The silence becomes heavier. Your presence starts to rearrange the air, slow, deliberate, unstoppable. They start to realize that you were never the danger. You were the measure, the test, the quiet mirror reflecting what's real and what's just noise. Oh wow, it stings, doesn't it? To look at someone who's mastered what you still pretend to understand. To witness calm so steady that it exposes your own restlessness. You were never trying to prove anything. You were only being, and that's what drives them insane. Because they live in performance, in rehearsed reactions, in borrowed confidence, in emotions built for attention. But you've stepped beyond all that. You've learned that power doesn't need validation. It exists with or without applause. It breathes on its own. And now they watch you in disbelief, how you move with purpose but never rush, how your words slice through confusion like a clean blade. They mistake your discipline for arrogance, your silence for distance. But those who lack control can never understand those who've built it. You became everything they warned others about, unshakable, unreadable, and free. Yeah, freedom scares people more than anything else. They thought your calm was weakness. They thought your patience was surrender. But patience is not waiting, it's watching. It's measuring the room, reading every pulse of insecurity before deciding whether to act or stay still. You learn that not every reaction deserves your energy. Some battles collapse by being ignored. Some chaos destroys itself when denied attention. That's intelligence. That's strategy. That's control. Oh, and when they finally catch on, when they realize you were observing instead of competing, their panic turns to envy. They can't comprehend how you stay untouched while their emotions eat them alive. They'll start testing you, pushing, provoking, trying to break the silence you wear like armor. But here's the thing. You don't break. You bend the atmosphere instead. You let their noise reveal their weakness. Because the one who reacts first always loses. Nah, they never feared your anger. They feared your understanding. They feared that you see too clearly, too deeply, that your gaze reaches where their words can't protect them. And they're right. You've seen it, the insecurity beneath their laughter, the exhaustion beneath their pride. You see the truth behind every carefully built image. And truth? Oh, it has a way of making people tremble. So now they whisper your name differently. No longer with doubt, but with caution. They talk in half sentences when you're near, like your presence alone might expose what they hide. You don't need to say a thing. Your discipline speaks. Your awareness commands. And every time they try to measure your strength, they realize they can't because your strength isn't visible. It's silent. It's internal. It's real. They thought you were the storm, but the storm passes. You remained, and that's when they understood the truth. The test was never about you overpowering them. It was about you enduring them. Because endurance is the real power, to stay calm when surrounded by noise, to remain focused when surrounded by distraction. That's the kind of power they can't imitate. And as they fall into their own illusions, you rise quietly, not above them, but beyond them. You've already crossed the line between reacting and ruling yourself. And once someone reaches that state, they can't be pulled back. When silence begins to echo, truth starts to shake the walls. At first they thought your quiet was harmless. Just you being distant, detached, maybe even unsure. Oh wow, how wrong they were. Because silence is never empty. It's a storm in disguise. Every moment you said nothing, you were watching. Every second you didn't respond, you were recording. And now that silence, the one they mocked, the one they underestimated, has started to speak louder than any voice they've ever heard. They can't hide behind noise anymore. You've stripped away the sound, the distraction, the fake energy that used to fill the air. Without their noise, their illusions start to crumble. Every false story they told about you, every twisted perception they fed into others, it's collapsing under the weight of your composure. Because truth doesn't need defense. It needs only endurance. And oh, they're starting to realize that endurance is what they never had. See, silence is your weapon, but it's not made to destroy. It's made to reveal. When you stop reacting, you let people show you who they really are. They fill the quiet with their true colors. Their guilt starts to leak out through body language. Their insecurity slips through nervous laughter. You don't need to accuse. They expose themselves. Yeah, that's the beauty of self-control. It turns time into an ally. They can't stand it now. Your stillness makes them restless. They try to provoke you with words that once worked, but you've outgrown the hooks they used to pull you with. You're no longer moved by whispers, no longer triggered by mockery. You've learned that peace isn't about silence around you. It's about silence within you. That kind of quiet, it's power refined. Oh, and when they realize you're no longer playing their game, panic sets in. They start over-explaining themselves, trying to prove they're still in control. But their tone betrays them. Their words crumble mid-sentence. You've seen it. that look in their eyes when they realize they've lost psychological footing. They know you're no longer inside their maze. You've walked out, burned the map, and now they're trapped inside their own confusion. Nah, you're not ignoring them. You're teaching them. Teaching them that access is earned, not demanded. Teaching them that respect is a mirror, reflect it or lose it. You've stopped giving your attention to those who trade honesty for approval. And when they lost your attention, they lost the illusion of importance. Because your focus, your presence was the stage they performed on. Now the curtain's closed and they're left performing for no one. Your silence has become judgment without words. It's not revenge, it's reflection. They're being forced to see themselves without the comfort of distraction. And that's the part they can't handle. Because truth without denial burns cleaner than any fire. And your calm presence is truth embodied. So they start whispering again, trying to rewrite the story. But this time, even they don't believe their own words. They sense it's over. The control, the manipulation, the image, all dissolving in front of the one person they can't deceive anymore. You. And yet, there's something deeper happening beneath all that collapse. Your silence isn't just breaking them. It's building something in you. A new kind of strength. The kind that doesn't need to prove, shout, or justify. The kind that's self-contained, deliberate, and untouchable. Because now they know what your quiet really means. It's not absence, it's transformation. It's the sound of someone who's mastered themselves so completely that no chaos can pull them back down. Still waters don't stay still forever. They learn when to rise. Oh wow. The silence didn't mean pause. It meant preparation. Every quiet moment, every restrained breath, every calm step, it was part of something greater, building beneath the surface. You were never retreating. You were recalibrating. While they wasted energy trying to figure you out, you were gathering it, turning patience into precision, focus into force. And now that stillness is finally starting to move. It doesn't explode. It unfolds. Like a tide reclaiming the shore it once surrendered. You move not with rage, but with reason. Every action, every decision, every subtle shift, it's clean, exact, deliberate. Because you've learned something most never do, that chaos burns fast, but clarity endures. You're not seeking attention anymore. You're seeking alignment between what you know and what you do. And that kind of alignment, it's unstoppable. They expected an outburst. They expected noise. But your response came as strategy. Sharp, timed, surgical. You act with purpose, not impulse. That's what unsettles them now. They can't predict you anymore, because you're not reacting to them. You're responding to truth. And truth doesn't move on emotion. It moves on understanding. Yeah, they thought silence meant weakness. But silence was the blueprint, the calm before the execution. Every move you make now carries the weight of observation. You've already studied their patterns, their habits, their excuses. You know where they falter, where they fake, where they hide. You've seen the cracks, and now your movement flows right through them. Quiet, unstoppable, precise. Oh, and when they realize it, when they finally see that your silence wasn't submission but sharpening, it hits them like a slow collapse. They can't stop it because they can't locate it. You're not attacking. You're advancing through presence, through example. You've become the evidence of what discipline produces. You don't need to argue anymore. Your results are speaking in your tone, your posture, your pace. Nah, this isn't revenge. It's revelation. You've outgrown the need to destroy others to prove your rise. Instead, you're showing what control looks like in motion, calm yet fierce, soft yet unyielding. You've become a contradiction that commands respect. Because true strength isn't in dominance, it's in restraint, guided by action. You move when it matters, you wait when it counts, you strike when it's time. And that's when fear transforms into fascination. They start studying you, the same ones who once doubted you. They try to imitate your rhythm, mimic your calm, copy your choices. But imitation never carries conviction, because your power wasn't learned from others. It was forged through solitude, through watching, through refining the unseen. That's why when you move, everything else adjusts. Oh, it's almost poetic, isn't it? The same silence that once unnerved them is now shaping the world around them. The ones who laughed at your patience now call it wisdom. The ones who questioned your calm now try to borrow it. That's how real transformation works, quietly, then all at once. You're not chasing outcomes, you've become one. You're no longer reacting to the world is reacting to you. Because once someone learns to move without noise, they start rewriting what movement even means. So here's the truth. Keep moving like that. Keep thinking sharper. Keep staying calm while their chaos burns itself out. Because the more silent your growth becomes, the louder your results will echo. You're not meant to fit in. You're meant to remind them what real focus looks like. You're not their competition. You're their consequence. Every time they doubted you, every time they laughed, they built the stage you're now walking across. Oh yeah, they're paranoid for a reason, because they finally see what real control looks like, and it's you. So before you go, drop a comment. If you felt this energy, let me know you're awake, aware, locked in. Because every word, every pause, every truth in this piece, it's a tribute to you. The rare ones, the watchers, the ones who build in silence and strike with clarity.